was once a thug from around the way.
Slim Thugger, motherfucker. At the H at the bottom of the map, and I was born and raised in the bottom of the trap. The #1 rule: stay strapped, cause any given minute you can take that long nap. I roll with gorillas, dealers and the killers, cause when I'm on stage, that's the only fool spillers. Real trill niggas, let me see your hands. I do this for the streets, I ain't trying to make you dance. Roll so low, I don't need no friends. Still flip that lack, I don't need no bins. And Harlem throwing money, I don't need those ends. Matter of fact, I'll be back, I need more to spend. She say she wanna when I hit the club. They say I can't get in cause I'm dressed like a thug. Fuck the dress code, we bout 100 deep, and they gon' let us in or get their ass beat. Boss hog outlaws roll like the mob. Everybody paid cause we stays on our job. Drop bench GT, a blessing from the Lord. So haters don't be mad at me, blame it on God. I'm coming out hard, the mother boy south, so I'ma hold it down for that H and that North. Brand new jewelry, look what I bought. Still running from the feds, I ain't never getting caught. She say she wanna you need a thug in your life. Well, come on over here, I can feel your appetite. Take you back to the crib and beat it all night. She say she love Thug, cause Thug'll beat it good. Her man pay them bills, but Thug'll keep it hood. And I ain't gotta say it, it's already understood. I'll take you for a ride, you can slide on my wood. I pick her up and shake her up and down like dice. Sweet like cake, make me wanna take a slice. I ain't tryna take advantage, but take my advice. Take a break from the fakes, get a thug in your life. She say she wanna
spiked red hair and the paint in his face. Whoa, hold on, man. Tech is losing it, man. He's not as grounded as he used to be. Tech was a devil worshiper.
I used to see a black dude with red hair and a long beard. I mean, he looked scary to me, too.
And that nigga Tech, man, he's selling out, man. He's doing that shit for the white folks. That's white shit he doing, man.
Hey, I've been
flossing and fizz knucking bitches. It is nothing for years puffing. I've been clutching riches from his muffin. Here's fuck you niggas, this is tough and I don't know what the fuck you thinking. Telling me this shit is hella fake. Say, since way back in the days, rapping the blaze happened. I raised raves, crazed days, was blade packing and stayed sagging. Days whacking, Nina stay laid back and I was constantly think never know the money Nina makes. Hey, this is amazing how niggas formulate they hating. You fucking fornicate, you're mistaken. We can never correlate cause you faking, huh? Who's bringing in through bacon, huh? Who's keeping this shaking, huh? Don't need questions since the taking. Checking in the niggas know the rest. Gay, it's all you punks and Mitch Bates. This in your trunk won't get played on the radio. Too gangster for an old lady, bro. Gangster niggas don't hate me, no. Gangster niggas won't face me, though. Talking shit in books, my people telling me I really need a vest. Okay.
I rep the town harder than any of you niggas. Wherever I step, my bill's the same pump. And you got the nerve to tell me.
Come gangsta, throw your rags in the air. Know that nobody there will compare to your gangsta. Sag your pants to the floor, every woman's a man or a whore when you're gangsta. Pack your guns in the club if they shrug and the thugs mean mug. You come gangsta, is what they saying to me. I should have been done, come with a gun for the ones who pump their gums. You the one said a nigga wasn't gonna make another record, said I was whack and washed up. Done, said a nigga might scare little one. He's a fucking nightmare. Here he comes with red hair and my face painted. They say, gun stop.
Messy Marvin Corleone so.
Gun stop.
But I really ain't.
Gun stop.
I need to come a little.
Gun stop.
Scratch the scratch him and nigga fat Tony so.
Gun stop.
You need a bit of that.
Gun stop.
You need to hang with a.
Gun stop.
Mr. Stinky Vigilante so.
Gun stop.
Brother Lynch's.
Gun stop.
The bigger is.
Gun stop.
57 RDVs or so.
Gun stop.
That nigga pity is.
Gun stop.
They say.
When you in them streets, creep, creep. Cause some gangsters wanna head blast. Cause I run with the red rags. Ain't tryna make the feds flash. Try to swipe my bread stash. That's that bullshit I'm skipping. Tryna go and get the money grip. Okay, you niggas kill me. Your Nosferatu vampire bit my shit. Cause you niggas feel me. Surprised I got you right here with my shit. So you gotta be thankful to who? By the way, homie, what's gangster to you? Money, dope, and alcohol. And pretty bitches all up on your dick. I got that.
How can C-Bo be wrong? How can Yuck Milk be wrong? How can Lynch be wrong? How can Tupac be wrong, bitch?
Come gangsta, throw your rags in the air. Know that nobody there will compare to your gangsta. Sag your pants to the floor, every woman's a man or a whore when you're gangsta. Pack your guns in the club if they shrug and the thugs mean mug. You come gangsta, is what they saying to me. I've been nice to you rapper cats for a long time. I left Kansas City so the other cats can go and shine. But it seems these punks are confused because I'm my own kind. But I'm back on deck cause Kansas City is who's throne.
This ain't no punk shit. Nigga, this is strength at its finest. I made this shit so all you simps can rewind it. Meaning, you pussies who say this tech shit ain't hard for real and try to disregard the real. You motherfuckers is hard to feel. I get your death threats cause I'm the king, bitch. Money, groupies, drugs, and alcohol, and bling shit. I stay ahead of the game, and you punks is so lame. Cause my one gangsta track will demolish your whole tape. I've been with every rapper who's legendary. Underground to mainstream, know that tech is very heater. Love me cause I'm your leader. Bitches, they suck my Peter while I'm drinking margaritas. Niggas get laid down. 7 displayed sounds. 9 the craze clown. Lines like sprayed rounds. This is for all you haters who don't pump my shit. If you say this ain't gangster, you can suck my dick. I might look like a clown, but you niggas sound like a motherfucking circus. Fuck you motherfuckers.
This nigga is the tightest nigga moving, man. I mean, Tech 9 would demolish all you niggas from the stage show to rocking the mic, you name it. That's why I roll with him. He my favorite rapper. Real talk. Tech 9.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the bloke you're stealing from. The name's Alistair Rigby, but as far as you're concerned, I'm Willy fucking Wonka, and you're taking a shit in my fucking chocolate factory. Easy, boss. Don't get upset. When I have to go to the dentist, I'm upset. When Liverpool beats Arsenal, I'm upset. But when some little shit decides to take over one of the most profitable territories in the country, I'm beyond fucking upset. I'm very fucking upset. So, from now on, you're under new management. You will work for me, and in return, you'll receive an allowance.
Allowance?
Yes, allowance. As in, I'm allowing you to keep 10%, and I'm allowing you to keep drawing breath on this earth. Now, you either get down, or you lay down. What's it gonna be, sunshine?
This wasn't no movie. The smart thing was to say yes, get up, and leave the room. But then I thought to myself, what if this was a movie? Look, fuck you, fuck the plane you flew in on, fuck them shoes, fuck those socks with the bell on it, fuck your gay-ass fairy faggot accent, fuck them cheap-ass cigars, fuck your yuck-mouth teeth, fuck your hairpiece, fuck your chocolate, fuck Guy Ritchie, fuck Prince William, fuck the Queen. This is America. My president is black and my Lambo is blue, nigga. Now get the fuck out my hotel room. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
I think this one spent so much time at the cinema. Teach this cheeky bastard a lesson.
Nobody fucking move!
Oh man, this is bad.
What is this? A casting call for the Sopranos reunion? Do me a favour. Tell room service nobody here ordered the extra large whop with a side order of wops. Whoa, boss!
With both Aaliyah and Genuine finding success with Timbaland's production in the mid-90s, they were each bound to eventually work together, especially being part of the Super Friends crew, along with Missy and more. As all of their careers got bigger, some of their friendships would be tested as the years went on.
And unfortunately, we weren't talking when she passed. She wasn't talking to Timbaland, or I think her and Missy fell out as well. But we still had love. Everyone was still loving and all that. But it's just the business, and when you're young, people can separate you, you know, and you don't know how or why.
What exactly caused this rift between Aaliyah and Genuine in her last days? Let's talk about it. By 1996, with the release of Aaliyah's One in a Million album and Genuine's debut album, Genuine, The Bachelor, the sounds of popular R&B took a revolutionary shift, with Timbaland crafting the bulk of each album. Aaliyah and Genuine would first work together when he guest starred in her One in a Million music video. He also featured on the One in a Million remix, which was a part of the soundtrack for the movie Sprung, starring Tisha Campbell and Paula J. Parker. After seeing the chemistry between them in the music video, many would speculate that they were dating at the time, which they both denied. Aaliyah once told Vibe magazine, "I think rumors are hilarious. I don't pay them any attention. It goes in one ear and out the other. When you're in this business, you hang out with people and people are like, I wonder are they seeing each other? I never dated Jay, I never dated Genuine." Knowing and sympathizing with what Aaliyah had went through, especially with her first album, and being 9 years her senior, Genuine declared, "I made up my mind that I was not going to step to her like that. It worked out better that way because we were friends and we could act silly. Aaliyah and I just enjoyed each other's company." That always been the case, it seems. Once two of the hottest stars at the time do a music video together or a song together, all of a sudden they're a couple. All of a sudden they just have to be dating, especially if the on-screen chemistry seemed too good. Regardless, Aaliyah and Genuine continued to build their friendship, and she would even babysit for Genuine when he would go out to clubs sometimes. They would even go on tour together, a part of the 1997 Budweiser Superfest, which also included Mary J. Blige, Drew Hill, and Bone Thugs and Harmony. While touring, they shared many fun times together, even some that was to be unspoken of, according to R&B veteran Tank, who sung background for both of them on this tour. Aaliyah and Genuine would collaborate again for his second album, 100% Genuine, on the song Final Warning.
You know, do you think you're playing games? No, are you playing games?
Look, I'm the same.
He also had fun memories recording that with
Me and baby girl, we were in the studio. We were doing Final Warning on 100% genuine. And it took us like about 20 minutes to do it, but we stayed in there the whole day because I loved her, she loved me, Timbaland, Missy, everybody, we just had fun. So that was one of the days that we stayed in there all day, but it only took us like 20 minutes to do the actual work. So.
Around this time, Aaliyah would executive produce for the Romeo Must Die soundtrack, as this was her first major movie role. Along with creating and selecting her own songs for the soundtrack, she included some of her other favorite artists like Destiny's Child and of course, Genuine. She also began working on her third album, which would become her self-titled. Still searching for the right songs, she came across a track Genuine recorded for his second album that didn't make the cut, called Miss You. She called him and with his cosign, recorded her own version that night that she hoped would make the track list. However, Aaliyah's label Blackground quote-unquote thought the song was no smash hit, no smash record, and they left it off the album, only to be ironically used as a posthumous tribute single in 2002, becoming one of Aaliyah's biggest hits. After learning of the accident by phone call, Genuine remembers being devastated, which was even more realized when he was pictured leaving her funeral. From there, just days later, he would appear with Missy and Timbaland on stage at the 2001 VMAs and part of a moving tribute which also featured Janet Jackson and Aaliyah's brother Rashad. Months later, he would sing on and appear in a music video for Missy Elliott's single Takeaway, where she would dedicate to the memory of Aaliyah. Y'all remember that part where he reaches and touches her face in the water? That part always gets me. It also came out that Aaliyah and Genuine were originally cast in lead roles for the movie You Got Served, but it was put on hold because of Aaliyah's passing. The director decided to keep their names for the characters, with Elgin, Genuine's real name by the way, being recast to Marcus Houston, and Leah being recast to Jennifer Freeman. For Aaliyah's 15th anniversary, Genuine will come under major scrutiny when he posted and mistaked social media influencer B. Simone for Aaliyah in an Instagram post. Now Genuine, really? He knew better.
Oh my God.
This really made people question their friendship simply because he couldn't even tell the difference between a look-alike and the real Aaliyah. And to be honest, they don't even look that much alike. Stemming from Genuine's interview that revealed their falling out, it all seemed to do with business. Genuine never really went into specifics, but it most likely had to do with the shady business Blackground Records would become known for, with Aaliyah and Genuine caught in the middle. Genuine even had a falling out with Timbaland as well years later, since he felt like he ditched him to focus on producing and promoting more popular acts like Justin Timberlake and Nelly Furtado. As a side note, Genuine recently became a viral meme because of his eccentric dancing choices.
That you still care.
He took it in stride, but gave a bittersweet response to the social media attention he created, saying, "I didn't even know I was newsworthy, funny or not." The thing is, most of us who are old enough to remember know that Genuine was always extra in his performances. Let's flash back to 106 in Park, shall we?
What's wrong with him?
Yo. I seen doctors use that electricity to shock his heart, but y'all don't have that. So what you need to do is pump his heart, and it'll bring him back, yo.
This industry is harsh, and this shows that one decade you can be the hottest thing out and one of the biggest heartthrobs. Then the next, you can feel forgotten and almost non-existent and become a laughingstock. Of course, every major artist has their heyday, and while some remain active, the others bow out gracefully. Genuine still has a love for singing and performing, and of that, a few quirky seconds of it goes viral with mostly the intention to ridicule him. God forbid, something were to happen to him, the same ones teasing him would then be showing how much love they have for him after it was already too late. Oh, Pony was one of my favorite songs. In Those Jeans and Differences were some of my favorite songs. It's like, now you want to show him love? When just last week, you were basically teasing him and reposting memes. This is just a hypothetical situation, but as time has shown, it really happens all the time. Bringing it back to Aaliyah, no one can imagine what would happen to her on her way back from the Bahamas. But some of her friendships were left shaky because they never got a chance to reconcile and make up. In the end, the drama, petty arguments, and holding grudges are definitely not worth it. As life has shown, tomorrow is promised to no one. Nevertheless, both Aaliyah and Genuine created classics and have left their mark in not only R&B music, but in pop culture in general. Please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see y'all in the next video.
What touched my heart one time is Missy called me and she said she had a dream. And she said she woke up crying, and I was like, "So what happened?" She was like, "It was about baby girl, because we call Aaliyah baby girl." And she said she told me to tell you that she's not mad at you and she gives you. And dude, we bawled crying because I always had that empty space in my heart. Do you understand what it feels like to have somebody that you love and get called and they were in a plane accident? Like, no, dude.
Aaliyah was deeply loved and would be so deeply missed. I think I speak for all of us standing here when I say she was definitely one in a million.
Watch where you walking, nigga. Hey, what you say, nigga?
Watch closely. You're about to experience a nigga moment. Webster defines the nigga moment as a moment when ignorance overwhelms the mind of an otherwise logical Negro man.
What did you say, bitch, nigga? Hey, squeeze it, nigga.
Causing him to act in an illogical, self-destructive manner, i.e., like a nigga. Nigga moments are unpredictable.
Hey, wait, man, wait. This is stupid. Hey, you right, dawg. Look, let's put the guns away and go on about our business. Freeze!
But they all end up bad. If they had their own category, nigga moments would be the third leading killer of black men behind pork chops and FEMA. It's a fact. Now let's see how a nigga moment affects a white man.
Frick. Watch where you walking, bitch.
What did you... Wait a minute. I'm white.
Where you going? Don't you ignore me. This is a perfectly good moment to throw your life away.
But you see them walking now and taking up the sidewalk, acting like they can whip everybody. Sure, they can whip somebody who looks just like them, because that's permitted. Permitted by whom? The white supremacists. They don't care. Kill everybody in the neighborhood. So what? There's another black neighborhood gone. There's another one down the street, ready to go. What's the big deal? You better be careful about whose space you get into when you get carried away with what you can do to other black people. And what's pitiful about it is most of us know that. Very few of us don't know that. We know whose space to get into. And we know just about how much backing we have.
Shame. Shame.
Black person in handcuffs. All kinds of tattoos. All kinds of long record for being able to whip everybody since 9th grade. Standing there in handcuffs in an orange jumpsuit. In his best hairdo, saying, "Yes, Your Honor." Why don't you use the kind of language toward Your Honor that you use with the people that you encounter right there in your neighborhood? The one that you say that you're a master over. The one that you can terrorize. All the females flocking to you and halfway scared of you. Knock them around all over the place. Call them all kind of names. Why don't you call Your Honor that same name? snatch him from behind the bench. No. See, we're great show people. Greatest show people on earth. 3 9mm, one in your sock, one in your waistband, one in your side pocket. Ready to take on the entire world in a movie, in a homemade video, or passing a bus stop full of black people fixing to go to work. Or you can terrorize them. Why don't you take on the champ? Which usually is just 1 or 2 white supremacists who just come and say, now, I think you'd better behave because you're disturbing my peace. Now, if you don't think I can handle you, try me. And I haven't been on this planet forever, but I've never seen a situation on a large scale, or never heard of one on a large scale, of any significance throughout the history of the black male, because that's who I'm talking about, who didn't chicken out in a moment of real crisis. So I don't want to hear it in this stalwart Black History Month about that all-powerful black male, because I've seen our record, particularly in the last, I'll say, just in this area of the world, 60 years. Now, we've had a few who did things the way that they ought to be done. They protested in the street. They carried signs. They talked about non-justice. Martin Luther King, people like that. Fannie Lou Hamer, as a black female, backing up black males who got out there and tried to do something that made sense, rather than just terrorize the neighbors. And that's doing what we're supposed to do from the weak position that we have. Only time we show all this bravery is when we are mistreating other victims of racism. For the most part, some exceptions. Nelson Mandela, exception. Martin Luther King, exception. Malcolm X, exception. A substantial list, but well-spaced. Well-spaced. All those black males in between, usually the ones who are doing hard time. If you look at what they're charged with, most of it is mistreating, whether they're guilty or not, but most of it is for mistreating other prisoners of war, the race war, people that look like themselves, can't stand themselves and want to kill everything that looks like them, and laugh about it, and call it an accomplishment. Now, I harp on this because this is one thing that should be real passe. As they say in the hip-hop culture, I think they call it whack. That's really whack. I think that's what they call it. Makes no sense at all, and has been embraced in every generation. Didn't just start. As far back as I can remember. Black male carrying the Saturday night razor. I'm going to cut me somebody before the night's over. Oh, yeah. Who are you going to cut? Who are you going to cut, Jimmy? Who are you going to cut, Mac? Well, I'm going over to the dance hall. Who's in the dance hall, Mac? I'm going to cut me somebody who breaks bad over at the dance hall. Who is it that's going to break bad in the dance hall, Mac? Well, somebody that looks like me, somebody I probably went to school with before I dropped out, and they dropped out. So we meet up 18 years later, and we slash each other to death in the alley. And that's supposed to be a big deal, and the purpose for being on the planet. Now, there are millions of black people who think just like that. And they are not all just in this area of the world. They are south of here, in places like Brazil. They look forward to that kind of foolishness. It's an old black tradition while we're talking about black history. That's a huge part of black culture. It needs to stop, and it needs to stop as of tonight. We need to do some thinking and just say enough of that. Been there, done that. Forget it. No more gang tattoos. I mean, you know, who are we fooling? Who can we really whip? A very limited number of people. And certainly nobody who is smarter and more powerful than we are, particularly somebody who is really an army. The system of white supremacy. You know anything about taking that on? No, nothing, zero. Better start tap dancing.
Let's discuss my payment.
That time is past. No 5,000 for you.
The price is 50.
How about your payment is you get to leave?
Not enough.
Oh, you think you can negotiate with me? I say the word, my nephews go to a certain motel, pay a visit to your daughter-in-law and your little granddaughter. What do you think happens then? Consider your position carefully.
I get my money. Or neither of us walk out of here.
You willing to die for this?
Maybe I need the 50,000 more than you do.
Newer rap fans might only know Snoop Dogg as an OG who hangs out with Martha Stewart and smokes weed. But there's a reason almost every rapper in the game is afraid of him. Snoop came up as a Rolling 20s Crip in Long Beach, and right after coming into the industry, he got hit with a first-degree murder charge. This is the wild story about why rappers are scared of Snoop Dogg. Snoop was born and raised in Long Beach, California. His dad abandoned the family when he was only 3 months old, so Snoop was mostly raised by his mom. Even as a kid, he knew how to hustle. He would hit the streets and sell candy, deliver newspapers, and bag groceries to help his mom out. At first, he wasn't even in the streets. Snoop was a good kid who sang in the church choir and played football. But when he became a teenager, Snoop started adapting to his environment. A Long Beach police gang task force agent told the LA Times, on a danger scale of 1 to 10, Long Beach rates about a 9. The gang situation has been way out of control there for more than a decade. Snoop started rocking with the Rolling 20s Crips and selling drugs. And around a month after he graduated high school, he got booked for cocaine possession. He was in and out of jail for the next 3 years, and Snoop realized he needed to switch up how he was moving. Back in 1993, he told the LA Times, "I want to stress something to the little kids out there. There ain't nothing cool about selling dope. I did it because I thought it was cool, but I was wrong, and I went to jail for it." Snoop had been rapping since he was a kid. He used to spit rhymes at school and draw a crowd, and that's how he knew he would make it in the industry. While he was locked up, Snoop says the OGs in jail told him, "Man, you're too talented to be in here. You need to be outside, not wasting your life away with crime." When Snoop was released from jail, he decided to go 100% into music. At first, he was writing and recording solo tracks, but then he linked up with Nate Dogg and Warren G and created a crew called 213. 213 started selling their tapes out of the trunk of a car, and eventually Dr. Dre heard it and called Snoop up. Dre had just left NWA and was trying to get a solo career popping, so he brought Snoop in to help him out on his debut album, The Chronic. Snoop was featured all over the record and even wrote a lot of Dre's bars for him. The Chronic became one of the best-selling rap albums of the 90s, and Snoop became one of the hottest artists in the game overnight. He went from selling coke and getting locked up to being featured on a triple platinum album in just a couple of years. but Snoop still had one foot in the streets. While he was recording his debut album Doggy Style, Snoop got hit with a first-degree murder charge that almost sent him away for life. In August 1993, Snoop and a bunch of other people were chilling at his apartment when a dude named Philip Walter Merriam allegedly started causing issues. According to witnesses, Walter Merriam threatened Snoop with a gun and said he was in his hood. Snoop's lawyer also claimed that Walter Merriam had put a gun to Snoop's head at a gas station while Snoop was shooting a music video. Walter Merriam and his homies drove off to go get food. Then Snoop and his crew hopped in his Jeep and followed them. They rolled up on Walter Merriam at a local park, and the crew started going back and forth. At one point, Walter Merriam reached for his pistol, but Snoop's bodyguard, McKinley Lee, upped his strap and killed Walter Merriam before he can get off a shot. After Walter Merriam was killed, Snoop sped away from the scene. But instead of doing the race like Tay K, Snoop turned himself in and spent the next 2 years fighting the case. Gangster rap was all over the news back then for allegedly causing more violence in the streets, and the media tried to paint Snoop as some bloodthirsty gangbanger who was ready to kill anyone. While he was waiting for his trial to start, Snoop told the LA Times, "The media is quick to point their finger when trouble strikes, but nobody ever asks a successful rapper like me how he feels about what's going on in the hood. I guess they think I'm macho and I don't care or something, but man, I'm someone who's trying to turn his life around," and it gets emotional. Snoop is never going back down, but that doesn't mean he loves violence. He said, "A dozen people know I've been smoked for no reason at all. I wish the violence would stop. I mean, right now, I got some little homeboys coming up who are happy to see me doing right, but it's so dangerous out there, they might not even live to see my album come out." Snoop and McKinley Lee both ended up getting acquitted, and the whole situation made him want to change up his life. In 2018, he went on the podcast, Now What, and said, "When I beat my case, I changed because I don't want to live this gangster life no more. I don't want that no more because I see the results of it, but leaving the gangster image behind wasn't that simple." At the time, Snoop was signed with Suge Knight at Death Row Records. Suge is one of the most infamous dudes in the rap game, and Snoop even called him the Boogeyman. According to rumors, Knight's first major deal in the industry came after he dangled Vanilla Ice off of a hotel balcony until he agreed to sign over the royalties for the track Ice Ice Baby. While Snoop was trying to spread more positivity and leave the violence in the past, Suge brought Tupac over to Death Row. Pac had a lot of beef in the industry and wasn't afraid of any smoke, but Snoop said, "I wasn't on that. I had a son, beat my murder case, he had little kids, out on bail, picking fights with niggas. I'm trying to shake hands with motherfuckers. I come from gang banging. I know when you pick a fight with a nigga, it may not be over with till somebody get killed." Snoop and Pac were tight from the jump. Snoop said, "Fell in love with that nigga. Me and him started hanging out, building a brotherhood with him." But Pac and Suge were beefing with Biggie and Puff Daddy during the infamous East Coast vs. West Coast War, and when Snoop chose not to pick a side, it almost got him killed. After Snoop went on the radio and showed love to Puff and Biggie, Suge and Pac iced him out when he got back to the hotel room. And when the Death Row guys drove to the airport the next day to fly back to LA, Snoop says Suge wouldn't let any of his security ride with him. When they all got in the private plane, Snoop says he walked to the back and was ready for them to jump him. He grabbed a knife, a fork, and a blanket to hide him, then sat back and watched everyone for the whole flight. The plane touched down, and Snoop tried to say something to Pac, but Pac iced him out again. Then a few days later, Tupac was shot and killed in Las Vegas. Back in May, Snoop went on Logan Paul's podcast and said, "We feeling like it's gonna be alright until we get to the hospital and see that it ain't alright. He got tubes in him. When I walked in, I could just feel like he wasn't even there and I fainted." Snoop says Pac's mom checked him and said, "My baby ain't never seen you weak. I don't want you to be weak in front of him. You go in the bathroom and fix yourself up, and you go back in there and talk to him and you tell him how you feel." After Pac died, the situation with Suge got even worse. But while most dudes in the game were terrified of Suge, Snoop wasn't afraid to speak up. He accused Suge of being involved with Pac's death, and after the second album dropped, he refused to release any new music with Death Row. Then, in 2002, Snoop aired Suge out on the track Pimp Slap, where he rapped, "This nigga's a bitch like his wife. Suge Knight's a bitch, and that's on my life. And I'm gonna let the whole world see, cause you f***ed up the industry, and that's on me." After all the drama with Suge and Death Row, Snoop really did turn everything around and start giving back. He's raised millions for charities, and in 2005, he started the Snoop Youth Football League for at-risk youth in California. In 2018, there were reportedly over 1,500 kids playing in the league, and Snoop even started a special needs division for kids with physical, mental, and developmental disabilities. But even though he's using his platform for good, Snoop still won't let anyone press him. Back in 2015, a dude from the Rolling 20s Crips named Big Flossie aired Snoop out on Facebook for not doing enough for Long Beach. Rumors started flying that Snoop was banned from his old hood, but he hopped online to clear it up. Snoop posted a video and said,
"First of all you niggas talking that shit about Snoop can't come to the hood, he can't do this. I can do whatever I like when I like. Second of all, you niggas is 50 years old. You can't get a job, cuz? I'm the king of Long Beach. I made it fashionable for niggas to bang the dub. I made it universal, motherfucker. I'm the nigga that took the set around the whole globe. Yeah, that's me. That's who. But now I'm doing positive things now. I'm enlightening homies and showing them how to get it a different way. Cause I know the truth. And ain't none of you put me on the set. And ain't none of you motherfuckers gonna kick me off the set, mother. Yeah, Big Snoop Dogg. Don't get it f***ed up."
Snoop is one of the only OGs from the 90s who's still relevant today. At this point, he's not just a rapper, he's a certified superstar who still has connections to the street. A lot of rappers make it out of their hood and leave it behind. But Snoop has been giving back for decades and still shows love to Long Beach. Nobody else in the game is like Snoop, and that's why his rep has been solid since the 90s. And even though he's all about spreading positivity, other rappers know that trying to press him won't end well.
That sound echo through the night. The sound I hear is when I'm holding you tight. My love, baby, you just rang. It's my love going bang, bang, bang.